As you friends know that we have started Unit 4 entitled Transgenic Plant as Bioreactor. Students from your syllabus paper 5th Plant Biotechnology, this is a very interesting unit, that is a transgenic plant as a bioreactor. In the last lecture we have got idea about this topic. This is, I think, second lecture of that topic. Again I will give you idea about what is transgenic plant. The foreign gene containing plant is known as a transgenic plant. Very interesting definition. Now bioreactor, here the reaction takes place between, I will say that, biological things and substances, and the product there get generated. I will tell you example of a biogas or gobar gas. In that tank, the tank is known as a bioreactor, because in that tank we know that methylococcus bacteria and dung interaction takes place, reaction takes place, and by the passing through many steps, methane gas is generated, isn't it? So you'll have to keep in mind, my friends, this is actually the topic, that is a transgenic plant. So transgenic plant as a bioreactor, in that one transgenic plant is nothing but actually the plants containing foreign gene which was not their original one. Okay. Now, in today's lecture, we have to get idea about the advantages of a transgenic plant as a bioreactor. As we know that many more products are produced with the help of the bioreactor or transgenic plant. But in that one, my friends, you have to come to know that you should know that many more products, important proteins, important vaccines that are produced by another methods, but that is a very costly. So with the help of using a transgenic plant, here low cost production is there. Again, eukaryotic protein processing is possible. Unlimited supply of each and every valuable product is possible when we have to consider the transgenic plant as a bioreactor. Again, no spread of animal borne diseases is there. Animal borne diseases will not be spread when we are going to take help of a transgenic plants. Then reduce the time to market, safe and environmental friendly, and no need for skilled workers are required there, because plant itself have capacity once we have make them to develop a specific protein that is possible with the help of a plant itself. Friends, you have to keep in mind actually genetically engineered plants means what? Again, transgenic plant. We have used here the genes and technology. So, engineer, that is technology. Genetically, genes we have added gene into the plant which is taken from the other organism. So, that is a transgenic one, my friends, you have to keep in mind. So, genetically engineered plants are nothing but the transgenic plants can manufacture a wide range of the proteins. Which are those? First, enzymes for the industrial and agriculture purposes, lysosomal enzymes, antibodies that are nothing but the plantibodies, because we are going to generate that antibodies from or taking from the plant, that is known as a plantibodies. Vaccines, other biopharmaceutical or medically related proteins. Other biopharmaceuticals are medically related proteins. So the general approach for the production of a desired proteins in the plant are first described and followed by the different products of a commercial important. Here, my friends, keep in mind, in the last lecture also we have at length discussed about the vaccine. Everybody right now running behind the taking vaccine just to get safe from the attack of a COVID-19 disease. We know that our India has also produced, I think many companies have been trying to develop a vaccines in their company, and two have been approved by the government of India. Out of that one, Covishield one is there, another is a Covaxin. In other countries also, we know that the vaccines against the COVID-19 have been produced, approved by their government. We know that Sputnik from the Russia, Pfizer from the, we have to say that the America. So like that, we have to say that. But we have to get injected with the help of injection. But whenever edible vaccines, in the sense everybody can able to eat that one. We know that right now there is a great problem just to produce actually in a large quantity. But when we are going to take help of a plant as a bioreactor for the production of a vaccine, then it would be very easy to multiply or make available vaccines on a large scale. Another thing is that right now there is a problem of a distribution. Specific atmosphere is required for the transport of a vaccine from the company to specific hospitals or specific spot where that is to be given to the that dose given to the actually the human being. But suppose we succeed to develop edible vaccines. Suppose we could be able to succeed to develop the edible vaccines, then there could be, we have to take help of a transgenic. So transgenic plant provide an alternative system for the production of a recombinant vaccines. So vaccines can be produced with the help of a transgenic plants. The major advantage of vaccine production in the plant is the direct use of a edible plant tissue for oral administration. By use of edible vaccines or veggie vaccines, in the sense vaccines which can be developed into the transgenic vegetables. The problem associated with purification of the vaccine can be totally avoidable. My friends, you have to keep in mind as a science student that we well known to you. You are TYBSc students, you might be knowing that vaccines no doubt are produced in the company, but again, purification of the vaccine is having a lot of importance, isn't it? Because we are going to take help of a microbes for the production of a vaccines right now. But produced vaccine is not in pure form, that is to be purified. So there is also a lot of time we'll have to waste, but that can time be manageable if we succeed to develop or to make the transgenic plant which could be able to be a producing edible vaccine. Means actually that vaccine may be taken by the human being by having leaves, fruits, or by eating a leaves, fruits, or roots of a transgenic plant. So that is very easy to administration. Now another thing is that, my friends, plant-based production systems are designed to provide a locally available edible vaccines at low cost for easy administration to the millions of people. Now our country, our government, our agencies, our all, we have to say that, are running behind to give a dose of a Covaxin or Covishield to everybody from our country. But actually there is a problem, great problems, there are great disturbances are there. And that can be, we have to say that in future we can avoid that disturbances by making plants to develop a or plant-based production of vaccines. The need of use of edible vaccines arises from fact that the large number of people in developing world are the victims of enteric diseases, endemic diseases. That is, endemic diseases are there. Right now, COVID 19 is a corona causing organism is a pandemic, actually, that organ that causes diseases to the many more areas, or wide area has been acquired by that one or covered by that one to cause that, to infect to the people from the each and every corner of the world. So that is a pandemic. But most of times, actually, endemic organisms causes the diseases, and that becomes a uncontrollable to the human being within a specific period. And if it is not possible to them, they will have to give, we have to say that, they will have to give, we have to say that, a death in a visit to the each and every countryman. So as to avoid all these things, that it is possible to develop the vaccines through the plants. Edible vaccines provides a mucosal immunity against the infection agents. We know that most of times that pathogen gets multiplied into the mucosal, isn't it? And that can be, we have to say that, avoided by having the vaccine producing edible parts of the plant. Now, my friends, already work have been started for the production of vaccines. In case of the human, heat labile enterotoxin B, isn't it? That can be produced with the help of a transgenic tobacco plant, isn't it? And application of that one, that tobacco eater will not be affected by the Escherichia coli. Now, envelope surface protein that is produced can be produced in tobacco and potato, because potato it is eaten by the each and everybody. That is, we have to say that, make you, I have to say that, protected from the attack of a hepatitis B, rabies virus, glycoprotein, recombinant protein or vaccine, we have to say that, can be produced in with the help of a transgenic tomato. So everybody of tomato eater will be protected from the attack of rabies virus. Or suppose attack has been taken place or enter in the body of that fellow, nothing could be happen, because already antibodies are developed because of rabies virus protein. So in case of animal also that is possible. Foot and mouth viruses, which are causes, so alpha alpha arabdosis, then maize or tobacco plant can be used by the animal as a food containing viral glycoprotein, which could be the works against the porcine coronavirus. Coronavirus, keep in mind, very interesting things are there. So here we have seen some examples. Now, in case of delivery of a vaccines to the gut, vaccines being proteins are likely to be degraded in the stomach. We know that in our stomach many more digestive enzymes are there. So we know that again vaccine is a protein that can be get digested into the stomach. So there is a way how to say that little bit. So this is true to the some extent. However, it is known that orally administered plant material, means edible vaccines, can induce human response. The particular material of the plant are more effective in this regard. So we can overcome to that problems. Most of times problem arises that suppose we have taken a vaccines through the edible fruit material that can get digested into the gut of the human being or stomach of the human being, and effect of that vaccine may not, we will be able to find out in the body of the human being, but that problem we can overcome very easily. Now, food based, here you have to keep in mind one word, that is food not based tablets, but food based tablet. Food based tablets to replace the edible vaccines. So we know that when and when we have to give a edible vaccines, food based tablets can also be developed. So on the human being will have to have the tablets in place of their having the food, isn't it? So that is also possible. So these have been written here, or you will have to understand, my friends, It is true that it is actually true that the edible vaccines may work well in the laboratory or under the controlled condition. There is a difficulty of those dose adjustment when the edible vaccines are consumed as a part of a foodstuff. Some workers prepare to discontinue the direct use of a raw material and prepare to opt for the food based tablets containing a known dose of a vaccine. This approach is being applied to the vaccine produced in a tomatoes. Food based tablets can be developed by the scientist. Now selected examples of therapeutic proteins produced in a transgenic plant. Which proteins can be produced, or right now some plant transgenic plants have been list of this transgenic plant. Most of time tobacco, canola arabidopsis, tomato, potato, turnip, rice. These plants have been produced varieties of this plant, that is of a transgenic plant. So these are the therapeutic proteins. Means proteins can be used in a medicines just to cover, just to cure, we have to say that, many more diseases, and that is possible here. Whenever we know that the protein C is there, that can be produced into the tobacco, and that is a anticoagulant. We know that coagulation takes place of a blood. Definitely that fellow will be die by the at- attack of heart or heart attack. Now, in recent years, transgenic plants are used by the biotechnology industry as a bioreactor for manufacturing specific chemicals and pharmaceuticals compound. Normally, these chemicals are produced in a low amount or not produced by the plant. The plants are being looked upon as a potential bioreactors, potential for the production of a immunotherapy molecules. That is molecular farming. My friends, we know that we have been doing a farming, but right now the I have to say that the policy has been changed. The scientists are going to say that the farmers or many more such a type of a workers will have to go for the molecular farming. They will have to produce the protein. They will have to produce the some antibiotic things. They will have to produce some pharmaceutically valuable proteins, isn't it? So, transgenic material in the form of an fruit can be easily stored and transported from one place to another place without fear of its degradation or damage. My friends, you might be knowing in case of the Covishield or Covaxin, that there is a some lifespan of all these vaccines. Once it is produced in the industry, so within a specific period that is to be used by the human being. Or sometimes if you will discuss with about this vaccine with the doctors who used to inject that one to the human being, they will tell that once the vial of a vaccine is get open, vial containing Covishield vaccine, once is it is open, so immediately that is to be given to the at least 10 persons within a specific period. Suppose within a specific period it is not given and some amount remain into that vial, definitely that bottle, that vial, vaccine containing vial, means vaccine get deteriorated. So, but suppose we succeed just to produce the transgenic plant producing vaccines or vaccine producing, suppose transgenic plants we succeed to develop all these things, then there is no actually fear just to get transport or storage also easy of all these things, transport of all the easy of all these things. There is no need to fear or to about the damage or degradation of the vaccine, so that problems can be get solved. Besides, The transgenic plant capable of producing several different products can be created at any time by crossing the plant that produces different products. So crossing is possible. Once we are having in our hand one plant of a transgenic plant producing vaccine, we can cross with other plants, so that plant can be again able to develop the vaccine. So that is also possible. So in successful trials, transgenic plants have been found to produce a monoclonal antibodies, functional antibodies, then some valuable proteins, vitamins, then polymer polyhydroxy butyrate PHB, that is nothing but the plastic. My friends, today we have discussed a very interesting topic that is related with edible vaccines that can be produced with the help of a transgenic plant, and production of a vaccines by using a transgenic plant as a bioreactor is having a lot of advantages, and scientists are paying attention toward all these things from the world. With this, my friend, I would like to say thank you very